Welcome back to Community Conversations. I'm your host, Steve Mantis, and my guest is Alaina King with the Community Action Group in the Blucher, Picton, Windsor neighborhood.
Right.
So we've been talking about a number of the activities that have been taking place. A lot of it focused on the children in the neighborhood. I understand that you did a partnership with TV Ontario, and some of the kids have become little movie stars there. What was going on there?
Oh, well, that's very good. Yes. Was it last year in June? No, July.
Okay.
July it was. We actually, the person in the Parks and Rec, which is, I'm sorry, I forget his name, Werner Schwartz. And he came and he approached me and asked me if he could use the Community Action Group's name in a proposal grant he was writing for TV Ontario, where they come and revamp the neighborhood playgrounds. So I said, sure, okay, if you're doing all the work. But so he did it, and in July they asked for different local children to come in who were actually community members who played at the park and whatnot. So we had about 4 or 5 of them who were neighborhood children who got to be a part of that process of being on television, TVO, and they got to do different things throughout Thunder Bay. And they actually showed them hammering nails or being a part of that, but mostly it was a lot of the other contractors and whatnot who put up most of this structure. So it was really good. It was really nice to be a part of that, to have that park put in, and the kids were really happy to be a part of that as well. So we've got a park, and a better park there to play in. So I believe that's where we're probably gonna have a lot more picnics and whatnot, barbecues, to get the community out.
Excellent. So it sounds like the Community Action Group has really been active partnering with other groups and organizations in the community to really make your neighborhood a better place to live.
Yes, I believe so.
So one of the things I understand you did was address an issue of the safety of the kids, in terms of crossing that street, that Junot Street, which can be a pretty busy street at times.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Okay, so where I live in a row house that faces Junot, which is like right in between the Boys and Girls Club. So a number of times I've seen, hear the cars, their horns are honking, and you can tell something, either is drastically going to happen or something's been averted. So I, stick my head out the door, and you see this little kid running across. You see the driver upset because, the child just ran across. So I said, well, I'm, getting really scared because, these kids are crossing the street. And so I went to city council, and I talked to actually Brian McKinnon, who is the ward councillor for the neighborhood. And, so what can we do about this? I said, this is really dangerous. I'm really scared that, something drastic will happen. And I could not imagine, watching one of my little friends be out of the neighborhood, in a tragic area. So we talked to Brian, and he says, well, we can do a deputation. So we found out how to do the deputation. We went to city council during their budget talks and asked for some street lights or a walkway to be put in. And I know it's a far-fetched deal, but to being able to compromise for the alternate safety methods. So I asked for a speed limit of 30. I knew I wasn't going to get it, but hey, let's try for 40. I'll take 40. And I believe that area of street is the only street that is a 40 zone without it being a school zone. So I'm hoping, it's kind of nerve-wracking, when you see the 4 lanes coming up. And by then we'll be isolated. We'll be an isolated community. We'll have 4 lanes on either side of us. So we'll have Junot. Red River is already 4 lane. The highway's 4 lane, and then is it John Street, Red River? Yeah, the expressway. So we'll be 4 laned. We'll be boxed in a little parcel of land, at least. I'd say a square meter, because it takes 20 minutes to walk from one end to the other. Not a square meter, but a square mile. And Yeah, that is a very big safety concern I have, and I see it. And, you know, even though it's a 40, people still go faster. Mind you, the police are starting to come in a bit more, which is, you know, somewhat reassuring, but it's you know, kind of nerve-wracking.
So the city responded so far by reducing the speed limit on Junot during that section where the kids would normally cross. Is there any plans for any further safety features there?
Not that I know of, not that I'm aware of, other than the street lights coming in, which would be placed at Junot and Windsor, where they say there's a lot more traffic there than there is at Blucher Crescent and Junot, which I find a lot of the kids are crossing closer to than at Windsor and Junot.
So they're going to put up some lights so that people can stop the traffic and cross the street.
Yes.
Sometime a crosswalk set up or something.
Hopefully a crosswalk.
Right on.
Yeah.
And so what are some of the plans for the future with the Community Action Group? What are you guys working on now?
So for the future, I think even like starting to work towards getting more adults involved. So we're looking at doing community kitchens, you know, parent support group, and you know, just things that will target to get the adults involved more with, you know, having things to do. Now that the children are aware of us, you know, kids will go running back to tell their parents about what's going on. Parents are slowly starting to come in. So, you know, I'd like to see something put in place, you know, information sessions, you know, what they can do. Because, you know, it's kind of intimidating when you have to go to a different place. You got to leave the comforts of your home and you go and talk to people where it's a setting between you and a desk. It's very, you know, it's hard to want to be in that kind of spot. So, but if you're able to sit in a circle, no barriers there, come on, I have some questions, let me ask you, let me talk to you, can you give me some answers? And knowing that there's support out there for you that will come down at least to your level to say, you know, we're here to help.
Great. So how do people get in touch, or how do they find out more about the Community Action Group?
The Community Action Group, we do have a Facebook page, and it is called Community Action Group, Blucher, Picton, and Windsor. Also, you could call at 355-5692, which is, you know, one way to get a hold of us, and an email address, which is bpw.cag@gmail.com.
All right, so we'll put those under the screen so people can have a chance to...
Actually, I got a sign here. I wrote it out already.
Well, we're out of time. It's really great talking to you, Alaina, and I wish you all the best in terms of the progress you're making in your neighborhood. I want to remind people that we have a Facebook page as well for community conversations. Excuse me. We look for your feedback and input. Anything that you liked on the show or ideas for the future, please let us know. Please stay tuned in terms of the shows that are coming up over the summer. Thank you very much for joining us, and have a safe day. That's what we all gotta say.